ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपाकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिते नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुकुं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यईश्वरम्। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you for joining. We are reading Canto 4, Chapter 13, Text 26, which is narrating about the descendants of Dhruva Maharaj. Tam uchurvishmatastatra yajmanam atharvejaha avivamshi huyamanani nate grananti devataha. Tam uchurvishmitastatra yajmanam atharvejaha avivamshi huyamanani nate grananti devataha. Tam uchurvishmitastatra yajmanam atharta vijaha avivamshi huyamanani nate gnanti devataha. Anyone would like to try? Am uchurvishmitastatra यजमानम् अथाद्विजः अविंशी हूयमानानि न ते गृह्णन्ति देवतः. Gonna try, Mataji. Tamuchurvishmitastatra yajmanam athartvijaha avimshi huyamanani nate grananti devataha. Word by word translation. Tam unto King Anga Uchuhu said, Vismitaha in wonder, Tatra there, Yajmanam to the instructor of the sacrifice, Atha then, Ritvijaha the priest, Havamshi offering of clarified butter, Veyamanani being offered, Na not Te they, Grananti except Devata the demigods. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The priests engaged in the sacrifice then informed King Anga, O king, we are properly offering the clarified butter in the sacrifice. But despite all our efforts, the demigods do not accept it. We will also read the next verse. We will directly read the translation and purport. O king, we know that the paraphernalia to perform the sacrifice is well collected by you with great faith and care and is not polluted. Our chanting of the Vedic hymns is also not deficient in any way. For all the Brahmanas and priests present here are expert and are executing the performances properly. Purport. In the practice of Brahmanas, conversant with the signs to pronounce a Vedic mantra in the right accent, the combination of the mantra and Sanskrit words must be chanted with the right pronunciation. Otherwise, it will not be successful. In this age, the Brahmanas are neither well versed in Sanskrit language nor very pure in practical life. But by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one can attain the highest benefit of sacrificial performances. Even if the Hare Krishna mantra is not chanted properly, still has so much potency that the chanter gains the effect. Thank you all for joining today. Seek blessings at all of your lotus feet to discuss this beautiful verse or beautiful aspect of Srimad Bhagavatam. I was just thinking, whenever I read Srimad Bhagavatam, 4 points come to my mind, and this is on my own speculated version, so not necessary it applies to you, but I'm just sharing from my perspective. The first thing when I read every verse of Bhagavatam, it reminds me what a mess I am in, or what a mess I have created. The second aspect when I read Srimad Bhagavatam makes me realize, and some words have to be spoken in Hindi, so please forgive me. Delhi abhi dur hai. The third thing when I read Srimad Bhagavatam reminds me about everyone is there except me rotting here in the material world. The fourth thing which I realize when I read Srimad Bhagavatam, in spite of all that mess, there is such a strong, urgent need to call out Krishna. I need your help. I really need your help. And that is what we see is a consistent theme, especially the fourth point, which is talking about Sharanagati. One has to develop or come to the conclusion of Sharanagati where one realizes whatever I do, however I do, it will be imperfect and it will not reap the fruits as expected. I remember it's a joke actually. One of the South Indian, he was in Mumbai and he was distributing books. So, because in Mumbai, most of the people are Marathi, so he thought, okay, I will learn Marathi. So he learned couple of words. So he went out, he said, Fakt daru piya, fakt daru piya, fakt daru piya. So one Marathi person say, I don't know Marathi, so please forgive me on it. So he said, Agar Marathi nahi aata, you shouldn't speak Marathi. You are talking about people, you should drink wine, you should drink wine. Daru means the wine. And daha rupiya. So daha is 10 rupees. So that's how it just works on that. So the point which comes out to be in material world, everything is blended with imperfection. Everything is blended with imperfection. Like the other day, I got Ferrari thepla, which is Ekadashi. So I'm like, it's very difficult with kids to satisfy their desire. Okay, so I cooked that morning, and when I saw towards the end the allergy, it says it may be produced in the facility, which also includes egg, soy, oh, sorry, which also includes wheat, soy, and something else. I'm like, Krishna, these are the things we should not be eating on Ekadashi. How about if by mistaken it has touched that aspect? The Ekadashi which we are thinking about is already gone. So in material world, everything is blended with imperfection. And it is all glories to Srila Prabhupada, who is the ambassador of spiritual master, who brought this mantra, which most of us never knew because we none of us knew about Lord Chaitanya. He brought this Krishna Maha Mantra. But Srila Prabhupada spread this wide and far to actually accept this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which can be chanted so easily. One time, His Holiness Indradumna Maharaj was traveling with Srila Prabhupada. And at the airport of the security gate, Prabhupada used to have that white suitcase. And then the security guy just open the bag. And he was really, really rowdy in speaking in terms of, open the bag. And Prabhupada was somehow trying, but somehow the lock wasn't working, whatever was the situation. And he again shouted, open the bag. Indradumna Maharaj was standing next to him. If you say this next time to my spiritual master, I'll beat you to death. Whom is he saying? To the security guard, to the person who was checking. And he said, okay, but I thought Hare Krishnas are mild. And Maharaj says, you be with me. So he clarifies that and he says, okay, so you open the bag or you open the bag. He told it mildly this time. So Maharaj was happy. Finally, I'll get to see what is inside this. And Maharaj opened, and then he saw the spiritual world within that suitcase. And he showed Prabhupada's passport. And in the name it was written A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Such a beautiful long name. Abhay Charnananda, that's also not A.C. And then, what is your home city, Vrindavan? What is your father's name? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. What is your position? So that's why I'm just all the spiritual dimension. What is your position? Das anu das anu das. So because of Srila Prabhupada, we are able to actually, even within this imperfection, Prabhupada opened the door of Srimad Bhagavatam translated in English, where we can actually read and find the highlights about what is happening and covering those four aspects. When you see here King Anga, who is actually descendant of Dhruv Maharaj, I was just listening. Srila Rupa Goswami, Sripad Rupa Goswami, he glorifies Dhruv Maharaj. He says he is such a perfected devotee. I'm so far away from him. Now, with all due respect to Sri Dhruv Maharaj, who is Rupa Goswami? He is coming from the Kunja of Srimati Radharani and Krishna, and he is the follower of Srimati Radharani. He's serving Srimati Radharani and divine couple in the most perfected way. Out of his humility, is glorifying Dhruv Maharaj, saying what a perfect devotee he is. You see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again and again reading about Dhruv Maharaj. And then he says, again go back, go back. One time, Rasika Bhuvi Prabhu asked me, and I just remember this time. He said, do you know who is the grandfather of Krishna? I'm like, Prabhu, I don't know. He said, if we don't know the descendant or if we do not know their parentage, the person whom we love, what is the probability of we? Because when you love someone, you actually go till the biodata. What time that person leaves from home, where does that person go? Don't want to get into the past. You all know we have been there. what time that person leaves, what time the person reaches there, what kind of beverage that person brings, because that we feel ultimately in material world we are in love with that person. But here we want to dedicate our life and reach to that abode for eternally living, not for just one lifetime and not for few years. I don't know where did I hear that. Before marriage, I can't live without you. And then once the marriage happens, and after that, when can I get out of this relationship? But here we are talking about not just few years, we are talking about living eternally with Krishna. If we do not know their lineage, if we do not know their ancestors and what is following up, it's so difficult. So here it may apparently looks, I'm just talking about my shortcomings. It may apparently look like, hey, hold on, what is going on? Remember the context here, Parikshit Maharaj is about to die in 7 days. And here Sukadev Goswami is asking, Parikshit Maharaj is not saying, Are, ek second, why are you talking about it? Can you tell me how do I attain prema? Because that's the prema pamartha mahan. I want to reach there. Can you talk about it? I have a short time. He's not asking that, which means there is a substance here which is being spoken. We may not have a taste for what is being spoken here, but there is a substance here. And here we see in Dhruv Maharaj, this whatever chapter we have been reading so far till 27, what we see is King Anga is such a amazing devotee. And he begot the son Veena. And he creates such a havoc. So imperfection doesn't just lie in material world. Imperfection is part of the constitutional nature of material world. Material world created is perfect. But when the imperfect living entities come in contact with it, it apparently look like the material world is imperfect. You agree? Having a wrong boss, though you'll end up with the right job, company is great, salary is great, the perks are great, you'll end up with the wrong boss. Is that the company problem? No. Two imperfect people come together, or apparently imperfect, however, everybody is imperfect in that way, creates an imperfect situation and creates the resemblance of everything is imperfect. But it is created by Krishna, which means it has to be perfect. Is that right? So here, what is happening is Anga is performing a sacrifice, and then during the sacrifice, everything from material perspective is perfect. But the results are not coming. The results are not coming. And then he realizes, what am I doing wrong? And he reaches out to these sages and requests him, can you please guide me? What is wrong? He said, as long as we see, there is nothing wrong what happened so far. And you did not mess up anything so far in this life. But you carry the previous life baggage. You perform a lot of sinful activities and they reap the fruits here. I was just remembering we went to Pune when my wife was struggling, and I'm sorry, Bhagavad Acharya Prabhu told never share about this incident because people get scared, but I hope you don't get scared. So I was meeting Radhesham Prabhu, and Radhesham Prabhu told me there is this institute or there is this some people who go there and run through your astrological chart. And who was saying Radhesham Prabhu. So I'm like, okay. I booked an appointment, I went there. This is such a science, they will only take your thumb impression. So they took thumb impression of her and mine. Okay. So this guy comes, he has no biodata. And we are seeing him first time, he's also seeing us for first time. And kids are not there either, so that they can see and they can understand, oh, they are from US. So they were not there either. And from my face, I definitely look like a South Indian. She may be looking like a North Indian, that's a separate story. He told past, present, and future. And in the past, he shared you both were husband and wife in previous life as well. I don't know who's husband, who's wife. Forget about that thing. Because anyway, I don't want to get there. You actually did a Guru Aparad in your previous life, and that is carrying forward, and you will have to suffer for it. So, in this situation, sorry, don't want to bring my mundane thought process here, but I'm just trying to bring in from our context. We carry the baggage of our past life sins, and this baggage is so heavy without even our realization. When we come to bhakti, when we start practicing this process, we realize over time, why is it not working? Prabhuji was mentioning about the importance of patience, but why is not working? To an extent, we also know philosophy. We understand what is the goal of life. We also know the way to reach there. But when we drive, even though the road is empty, I can drive. There are no rules in terms of how fast you can go. Like here, you can drive at 70, 75. There is no speed breaker. Road is smooth. There is nothing in the on the road which is creating an obstruction. But why am I driving at the speed of 10? And this is the answer which is being given here. Irrelevant of whatever we do in material world, we will carry whatever the baggage we are bringing from our past life. And on top of it, we realize we are not doing things correctly certain period of time. And one has to reflect, one has to introspect and come back to those four things which I talked about is first and foremost thing, until one realize I'm in a mess, will never be able to come out. There is a beautiful example of Lord Indra. He's being cursed and he takes the birth. All due respect to Lord Indra. All due respect to him, he takes the birth of a pig. And he's enjoying his life. He has a family, he has kids, he's enjoying. Brahma ji says, "Are koi handle karne wala nahi hai idhar. Someone has to come here. We have to find out where is Indra." Brahma ji knows everyone. So he said, "Are idhar baithe hain." He goes there. "Indra, let's go." Where? "Are to your heavenly planet." I bet you until I started reading Sri Brihad Bhagavad I never understood what are these material planets and what are their opulences. Even Indra had Supreme Personality of Godhead in living Swargaloka with him as his younger brother. As his younger brother. Every planet in the higher planet, on earthly planet also, there are deities like Sri Radha Gopi and. But on the even higher planet on material plane, they have Lord Vishnu with them. And it's like Sri Radha Gopi Janamala, everyone feels they are mine. Everyone feels, whoever goes on the altar. This is my day. They are my deities. Again, not my from that material perspective. So even Lord Indra has his younger brother as Lord Vishnu. So he takes the birth. I will come back to this point. So he takes the form of a pig and he says, my life is great. I don't want to get out of here. What are you doing? You're just lying here on the stool and urine. What are you doing here? You come to Swargaloka. The type of opulence you get in Swargaloka, even Earth planet pizza look like a stool for him. For people yearn for it. And he's saying, I don't want to come back. And Lord Brahma has to arrange his family being slaughtered जब तक उसका turn नहीं आता. Now I want to come back. Until we realize we are in such a mess, we will never think of getting out of it. And unfortunately, certain people like me, लातों के भूत बातों से नहीं मानते. Until one comes to that miserable situation where one realizes, I'm in a mess. I have to get out of it. One can never actually relish Srimad Bhagavatam. Because Srimad Bhagavatam has to be realized, not just studied. And the realization only comes when the land is fructified, when the land is, what is the term we use? Not the fruit. Huh? Fertile. Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Until the land is fertile, kitna bhi seed dalo, it's not going to reap the fruits out of it. So one has to understand this first aspect that I am in a messed up situation. And I only created that mess, not that someone else participated to create that mess. I was just telling Krishna Kumar Prabhu, while coming out of New now, kids helped me, we wound up in 5 minutes. I'm like, really? Check-in takes more than 9 months. Checkout takes only one moment, Prabhuji clarified. I said 5 minutes. So check-in in this material world, minimum 9 months. Someone say, अरे नहीं बच्चे तो कभी कभी 8 महीने में भी बाहर आता है. From the point a person dies, the soul comes to the next body. It is much more than 9 months. That's my understanding. Feel free to correct me on that. So check-in takes more than 9 months to come in the material world. Came empty-handed, nothing is there, and I cry, everything has to come. I'm not going to do any endeavor. When we grow up, whatever MNC we work for, we have to earn our own livelihood. Not that mother and father will keep making for you. Now you earn, and now the children are expecting you provide everything which I'm expecting. And you realize what a mess I created. And one fine day, that moment comes, time to check out. Arey, but I just came in here. Time to check out. You don't have an option to pay penalty. That's it. You will be kicked out of your body. And Prabhuji was narrating beautiful about Ajamil's story and you now what a beautiful insight there. Arey, checkout time ho gaya. I didn't realize that. I just started. Sorry, sir. There is no extension period. And like for an example, when you go and check in the hotel and the check-in is at 3 p.m. and you enter at 11 a.m., they ask you to pay extra. So any child who comes before 9 months, the parents pay the bill to the hospital because this undermatured or unmatured baby and they have to take care. Everything comes with penalty in this spiritual, in this material world. So that's the first aspect, which is until someone is getting frustrated with this, one cannot come to the next step. The second, which we talked about, what is the second principle I said in the beginning? Delhi abhi dur hai. When we see Srimad Bhagavatam, Dhruv Maharaj's story was not straightforward. Yes, there is a problem. He realized Narada Muni guided, he got the mantra. Yes. Who is perfect spiritual master? Perfect place. Yes. And perfect mantra. And what is needed as an ingredient, as a catalyst, the determination. Arey, sab kuch hai. Is that straightforward? No. He performs tapasya. And even after performing tapasya, Lord Vishnu comes and blesses him. Great, you will come back to me. Guaranteed. Like yesterday, my battery died. He said 3 year warranty. That's it. Lord Vishnu says, अरे 100% कुछ भी गलत नहीं हो सकता. You will land up there. Irrelevant however mess you create. Of course, he won't create it. But I'm just thinking and putting my words. What happens? His brother is killed. He has to fight with the Yakshas. Yakshas create such a illusory energy, and then he has to fight through that. And then finally he is killing them. And they said, Arey, don't kill anyone. Brahmaji comes. He realizes, Arey, this is not my job. And then finally he's entering spiritual world. And Narada Muni is happy. And Parikshit Maharaj is happy. They're asking, can you elaborate more? What is happening next? And this is where the section we are coming in. So you see, every pastime in Srimad Bhagavatam is not happy story. Everyone goes through that. Everyone realizes after reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Delhi abhi dur hai. The third one, what is it? Everyone is there, but I am not there. There is this beautiful bhajan. Give me 1 second. I'm going to move this here, and this is very much. Uh, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes this beautiful bhajan in Sharanagati. He says, Amara jivana sada paperata nahi ko punyera lesha parera utvega diyachi koto parera utvega diyachi koto diyachi jivera klesha. I'm just reading the first line translation. Who is writing? Bhakti Vinod Thakur is writing. I am an impious sinner and have caused other great anxiety and trouble. Second, I have never hesitated to perform sinful acts for my own enjoyment, devoid of all compassion, concerned only with my own selfish interest. I am remorseful, seeing others happy. I am a perpetual liar, and the misery of others is the source of great pleasure for me. Bhakti Vinod Thakur is not talking about himself. Of course, he's talking about himself out of humility. But when I read this, I'm like, how can 100% match be there? 100%, not even 99.99%. Like in IT, they say availability of your software or hardware is 99.109, whatever they put. 100%, sir. No 99.99%. This is the situation. So far that we cannot understand. Everyone is there in the thought process, thinking about Krishna. I was just hearing about this wonderful devotee. This Mataji is almost in 60s, and she is sharing last 45 years. Let me be precise, because for me, oh, Krishna, I don't know, my mouth with jaw were coming out. Last 45 years, not a single day when she did not chant in Brahma Murta. Last 45 years every day. And then she's asked, maybe someday you sleep late. No. Maybe 1:30. Never missed. The latest I slept was 11:30 in my 60 years, which is specifically 45 years in her bhakti. What is her schedule? She wakes up at 3:45. She chants all prayers, Ashtakam, Yamuna Ashtakam, Govardhan Ashtakam, until 4:15, half an hour. Then, sorry, 3:45 she wakes up, 4:15 she gets ready, 4:10, and then she chant these, and after that she starts chanting. She's chanting 32 rounds every day in a single sitting at the age of 60. For those of us, even in the 40s, we need a support. We need to stand up because our legs are sleeping. Whatever. I don't want to get into that. You have more experience. Um, I have more experience, I'll put it that way. And after that 32 rounds she is chanting in a row, she was chanting 64 before she realized. And she is the grandmother. She has to still cook, take care of the family. Not that Ari kaam dhanda nahi hai. Okay, she finishes her chanting. After that, she does the deity worship. Every day, she reads 15-minute Bhagavad Gita, 15 minutes Srimad Bhagavatam, 15 minutes Chaitanya Charitamrita, minimum. After that, she prepares for her Bhakti Shastri. After that, she is giving the classes to other devotees in different part of the world. In the evening, she is doing Gaura Arati and then again reading and going to sleep. Consistently for more than 45 years. And she was asked, don't you ever feel bored? Like, Srila Haridas Thakur, I'm just sharing my heart. Please don't take it to yourself. Maybe one day 64. The tongue is not working. The next day, kabhi finish hoenge. She said, no, when I take the name of Krishna, I get very joyful. I go, wow. I was just remembering this pastime His Holiness Aniruddha Maharaj quotes. Srimati Radharani is feeling separation from Krishna, and Sri Lalita Sakhi asked her to write a letter. Very interesting, actually. It's a very nice meditation we can work on. When we have that, we should write a letter to Krishna. So she starts writing. She writes only Krish, and she goes into ecstasy. Tears are flowing from her eyes, and Lalita Sakhi is saying, Are, if you write at this pace, the whole millennium will go away, finish. And then Vishaka Sakhi is saying, I think this is enough. And she carries that letter, put it into a golden box, and takes it to Krishna. I will only speak to a certain extent. Then Krishna gets that letter, goes to Madhu Mangal. Krishna says Madhu Mangal to read the letter. And Madhu Mangal opens the letter. And what does he see? Krish. And he closes the letter. Krishna, I think you should read it. There are certain letters which has to be read only for the persons which is read. Then they understand. And Krishna opens that letter and reads. and he goes into ecstasy for hours and hours. Arey Gopal, Krishna, can you read the letter? And just from the Krish word, he understand, he actually can get into the heart of Srimati Radharani. What is her emotion? Wow. And he writes Ra. And again, this is, and Srimati Radharani narrates the whole letter. It's like hours and hours just from that Ra, because she can see into the heart of Krishna and speak what is happening. So this Mataji can understand what is this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is like. I'm like amazed. So this is the third point. What was the third point we said? Everyone is there. I'm very far away. The fourth, maybe I'll just inject in one idea. Please forgive me about it, but just this brings me, and I won't feel comfortable if I won't be comfortable if I don't speak about that. Please forgive me about that, especially Ramakrishna. There was a movie I saw. Will Smith was an actor. I don't want to get into the movie. This guy is alone in the whole city. And I watched it while I was in the flight somewhere long back. Keeps coming into my brain for what? This is the exact experience a jiva goes through when he realizes, or when she realizes, I do not belong to this world. I want to get there, but you can't get it there. The whole world is filled in with so many people, but you feel you are alone. There is nobody whom you can share your heart and talk about how you're feeling when you're living in the material world and you want to get there. When your anarthas are attacking and everybody is coming and saying, Arey Prabhu, Mataji, you are doing great. What a wonderful class you gave. Arey, either I'm vacant. There is a vacuum in my heart. I want to get out of it. I want to get there. But you realize the burden which is being shared here is so high. Those anarthas, those conditioning keep pinching you. Keep pinching you. And then, Arey, I don't want this. You know it, but they keep pinching you, keep pulling you down. And you realize, Krishna, how would I get there? And that's where you come to the fourth stage where you think about, Krishna, I really need you. I need your help. Without that, it's impossible. Prabhuji was mentioning about Sita Maiya fasted for whole 1 year. She didn't eat anything. Lakshmanji fasted for whole year. Lord Ram asked, it's impossible. I gave you fruit every day. He asked Lakshman, I gave you fruit. You fasted for entire year because Lakshmanji is glorified more than Lord Ram. Okay, whole year he was serving Ramji and Mother Sita. And Lakshmani said, my dear brother, you go under that tree, you will find all the fruits there. This is metaphor. And Lord Ram actually goes there and counts each and every fruit. But one fruit is less. The Lord Ram comes and asks Lakshman, which means you ate that day? Lakshmanji said no. That day when Mother Sita was stolen, on that day, you did not eat and you did not give me the fruit. And that's why there is one fruit is missing. And that is the qualification of Lakshmanji. Sita Maya is fasting for entire year. Lakshmanji is fasting for entire year. When a jiva, Sita Maya is not a jiva, but with this example we can understand when we are separated, until we come to the conclusion that there is nobody else and I'm alone and I'm in a mess and it is so far for me, one comes to the conclusion now there is only ways to take shelter of Krishna. And that is why when you call out, like Draupadi called, Hey Krishna, Hey Yadava, Hey Saketi, Govinda Damodara, Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara, Madhaveti. Until we come to that conclusion, we are missing the real insight about reading Srimad Bhagavatam and realizing, penetrating that beautiful aspect of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is talking about one after the other story. There is no other hope. There is no other hope. There is no other hope. There is no other hope for us other than calling out Krishna's holy name. There is no other hope for us. Kartik month is coming. What is our meditation? Again, if we are thinking that way, we miss the train. But when we think about, Hare, this is a month which is so dear to Srimati Radharani. This is a month which can offer not from a material perspective or merchant perspective a thousand time benefits. So I'll multiply and then calculate that stuff. But it is about that eagerness. It's that laulyam through which we approach this month and then call out. And you see Gopakumara's pastime, coming back, I said, and I'll come back to that. Indraji, he goes to heavenly planet. And while chanting the mantra, he thinks, I wish I could be an elder brother to Krishna, elder brother to Lord Vishnu. And he becomes Indra. And he is able to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead while living in Swargaloka. But his attraction, his attachment to Vrajabhumi is keep coming because he is having that prema within his heart. He's not finding satisfaction anywhere else. He comes to Janaloka, Maharloka. He comes to Brahmaloka. And even Brahmaloka, Brahmaji has Lord Vishnu for him worship. And Brahmaji also, he thinks, what a fortune this person has. I wish I also get that fortune. And he becomes Brahmaji, Gopakumar. And then wow, this is so great. What am I doing? And he is in Brahmaloka, seeing the beautiful, attaining the beautiful position of Brahmaji. He still feels vacant, feeling separation from Rajabhumi. What is the position of Raja? I was thinking about it. Wow. And there are description after that. The Vedas are arguing how liberation is tuchya. And he hears that narration. And these Vedas tell him, you go to Vrajabhumi. And that is the crux of Srimad Bhagavatam. Ultimately, it should bring us to that platform where we realize, even if I'm far away from that beautiful Bhumi, where Mother Earth feels so happy. And she says, I am the most fortunate one because when Krishna moved from Vrindavan to Mathura to Dwarka, when he leave from Vrindavan, the Vrindavan Vasis are feeling separation. When he leave Mathura, Mathura's people are feeling separation. When he goes to Dwarka, now the Mathura Vasis are feeling. And when he leaves Dwarka certain time to fight or something, then Dwarka Vasis are feeling separation. But Bhumi Devi says, I had a constant touch with the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. I'm so fortunate. And gopis are glorifying Mother Bhumi. And that is the platform we want to get into because that's a special month which is coming up. Vrindavana Ramya Sthana Divya Chintamani Nam. That's where every word is a song, every step is a dance. And until we actually mesmerize that and read Srimad Bhagavatam with that thought process, we can never understand the mood of Srimad Bhagavatam, especially I'm talking about myself. So to summarize, what we discuss is King Anga is performing a sacrifice, but the demigods are not coming to take the share. And he's thinking what is happening. And we spoke about what is the glorification of Dhruv Maharaj. Here Rupa Goswami is glorifying. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is glorifying about what is the qualification of Dhruv Maharaj. And then talked about four aspects of Srimad Bhagavatam. And again, they could be different for you. That's my version. One is one has to understand what a mess I am in. The second is Delhi abhi dur hai. It's so far to actually reach to the spiritual world. Third one is everyone is there. I am the only one rotting here. And the fourth one is to call out Krishna that I really need help on that. And we elaborated on that, especially on the first point, Lord Indra, who becomes a pig, he doesn't want to come back. We talked about that one. In the second point, we talked about anybody remember what did we talked about? Yeah, when we gave about the Dhruva Maharaj example, we saw that it didn't come very easily. He had to actually struggle throughout the life. Third point which we talked about is we are alone, irrelevant of whatever it is. And the fourth point we talked about is that developing that mood of separation, thinking about my Lord, I need your help. And that's what is the only gap I have. With that, I want to stop here. Any comments or reflections? Okay, any comments online? Thank you so much. Happy Ekadashi, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveda Gaura Bhaktavinda ki jai. Please keep us in your prayers, struggling from core of my heart. Thank you so much, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Purana ki jai. Hare Krishna. Ending.